All right, guys, before I get into this video, I got to make a correction from my first video of the day that some of you guys brought to my attention in regards to my response to Michael Rappaport's rant against Clarence Thomas, in which he referenced pubic hair. He called him pubic hair Clarence, okay? And I didn't think about what he actually was referencing in regards to the confirmation of Clarence Thomas and the allegations that were made against him by Anita Hill. That totally slipped my mind, okay? One of the more infamous moments involving the whole, Clarence Thomas asking about pubic hair being in the soda can thing. It slipped my mind, and I thought that Michael Rappaport was referring to the hair texture of Clarence Thomas, okay, as a black man, and I said that could have been a racist comment. So sometimes, stuff like that is going to happen, right? Well, I'm not going to be able to obviously think about historical references to things like that because I'm only 27. I was born in 1994, and this happened in 1991, right? So it's not like I was alive to watch those confirmation hearings live. So there's some moments and some things that probably were viral moments back then, and details that are probably going to slip my mind, and that I'm just not going to be able to immediately reference without actually researching it. And for whatever reason, I didn't think to say, hey, where might he be getting that comment from? Why might he be saying that? I didn't think to look that up and research it. I mean, it just automatically, I just thought, wow, these white liberals, they're really showing themselves for who they actually are just because of Clarence Thomas and his role in overturning Roe v. Wade and a bunch of other Supreme Court decisions that they don't agree with. I just automatically was thinking that this guy's just openly being, racist. With that being said, all that is to say, if I make a mistake like that, well, I'm obviously, not remembering something correctly, or, I make a mistake, I get something wrong, message me, right? Hey, Greg, you got this wrong. You need to correct it, right? Let me know, because that is how I get better, okay? So that being said, thank you for those who have reached out to me and said, hey, this is actually what he's referencing here. It wasn't exactly a racist comment, just for your information, just so you know in the future. I really do appreciate that. So thank you. Now to get into this video and what we're actually supposed to talk about here, which is the mainstream liberal media's reaction to Roe v. Wade being overturned. And you knew it was coming, right? We got to react to Joy Reid and her crazy guest, Lunatic, Elie Mystal, whom, seems to have a problem with Christians, right? And this guy goes as far as to say that the only people in this country, in America, with rights are cis white males and Uzis, right? We're talking about the submachine gun, the Israeli submachine gun. No, I'm not kidding. This is what this guy actually said. Take a look.
Let's bring in Elie Mystal, justice correspondent for The Nation. You talk, because you read through this decision. I only had to read like the first line. I was like, yeah, okay, it's the same thing as the other leak. I mean, we knew this was happening, but can you talk about the bigger construct of what they're doing in general to fuse Christianist church and state? Because it ain't all religions.
Yeah, so look, at a basic level, if you want rights in this country under this conservative Supreme Court, you better be a cis hetero white man or an Uzi, because those are the two things that this court believes have rights. Let's start at the beginning, right?
Or a corporation.
Or you can incorporate yourself as an Uzi and perhaps then get some rights, right? But let's start at the beginning. Let's start at conception, and let's remember that the idea that a life begins at conception is a Christian fundamentalist idea. We live in a pluralistic society with people of many religions. Many religious beliefs do not hold that life begins at conception. Many people who don't have faith don't hold that life begins at conception. And many secularists say, I don't care what Jesus thinks, what your version of Jesus thinks life begins. We live in a secular society that should be prosecuted along secular laws, right? So you really have to go back to where the legal heart of Alito's opinion is, and it's in this originalist interpretation of the 14th Amendment and the Founding Fathers that says if the original white male slavers and colonists who wrote the Constitution didn't think you should have a right, then guess what? You don't get that right.
There is a case that a rabbi is bringing in Florida who says, hold on a second, in Judaism, life doesn't begin at conception, and we believe abortion should be legal. Don't you agree that if that case were ever to get to the Supreme Court, suddenly there would be a total separation of church and state? This ain't about religion. It's just this one version of Christianity. That guy, if he gets all the way to the Supreme Court, will lose. There's no firm, legal theory here. It's just we're Christian right people, and we want that to govern America.
As Gandalf might say, arguments are of no more use here. The Supreme Court does not care about its own hypocrisy because they have the votes and they have the will to power to do what they want to do. So, yes, I think that we should bring that lawsuit from those people. I think that we should pass congressional legislation codifying Roe v. Wade. But there's a line between hope and foolishness. And we have to be realistic about what this Supreme Court is willing to do. If you pass those laws, if you bring those cases, this Supreme Court will strike them down before breakfast. And so I say again, the only actual solution, it might sound hard, it might sound radical. The only actual solution is to expand the court with people who believe
Amen.
In secular government as opposed to religious
And the
theocracy.
only way to do that, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, you need 54 senators, y'all. You got at least 8 good races. Focus on getting 54 senators. It's the only way you're going to ever expand the court. Elie Mystal, thank you very much. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so I wish these people would actually just come out and just tell us how they actually feel, which is that they hate Christians, they hate men, they hate white people. And if you happen to be all three of those things, then they think that you are the devil, right? They think that you're the devil. Because to me, it seems like this rant from Joy Reid and Elie Mystal here, they seem to have some hatred for Christianity, right? They seem to have some hatred for people that they call fundamentalist Christians, when, in my opinion, I don't think that has all that much influence over the Supreme Court for as much as they want to try to make it seem like it has that much of an influence. Because essentially at the end of the day, one, they're not banning abortion. Abortion is not banned in the United States. Essentially, they're saying that, no, this is just a state's issue. Let the states decide what they want to do with this issue, which basically is the equivalent of let the people decide what they want to do with this issue. Okay, people that live in red states that don't want it, hey, they're gonna vote politicians in that are gonna be against it. People in blue states that do want it, they're gonna vote politicians in that want it. In fact, Roe v. Wade being overturned actually expands so-called reproductive rights in those blue states. They're actually able to go further than they were before Roe v. Wade was overturned. But, it's funny how they don't mention that, because, again, for a Supreme Court that's supposed to be so religious, specifically we're talking about Christian fundamentalism here, because that is what Joy Reid clearly has an issue with. She clearly does not like Christianity. But if that was influencing them so much, you would think that maybe they would have thought through this and said, hey, you know what? If we overturn Roe v. Wade, and some of these blue states, they're going to go crazy with this stuff. Because some of these blue states are going to have abortion on demand literally up until birth, and maybe even post-birth abortion. Okay, that is what's going to happen in some of these blue states. Also, you have companies that are coming out of woodwork that are basically saying, yeah, we will pay for our employees to go and get an abortion in a blue state. So again, effectively, what is really going to change? Except that you have to take an extra step if you live in a red state, and if you really want an abortion, you have to take an extra step to go and do that. You got to go travel to a blue state, and again, it's probably going to be paid for. It will be facilitated, which, in my opinion, to me, that's a good thing in the sense that, well, one, this issue goes to the states. The people can decide, right, if they want that. But two, it means that women who live in these red states who are thinking about getting an abortion are going to think twice and say, you know what, maybe the inconvenience here makes it so maybe I just shouldn't do it, and I should just go ahead and just give birth, which I think is a good thing. But also it's a bad thing in the sense that a lot of these blue states are going to become abortion sanctuaries. But I'm just saying, from a democracy perspective, this is good for democracy. But these are the same people that are upset about the fact that democracy, the people are going to decide on this issue. Because it's not about democracy for them. It's about power, right? When they say save democracy, what they actually really mean is save Democrat control. That's why their solution is to expand the court, right? Instead of actually just going throughout the normal process of waiting until a Supreme Court seat opens and trying to win elections, go throughout the democratic process. No. Let's just expand the court, right? We need to expand the court, okay? We need to stack the court with secular judges, right? Again, I don't see here, where's the evidence that religious fundamentalism, or specifically Christian fundamentalism, played a role in this decision? Because I'm gonna tell you, these are the same people that will say, well, the Constitution is not a Christian document, right? This country is not a Christian country. And their evidence for that is they'll say, well, Jesus is not mentioned in the Constitution once, right? Or the Declaration of Independence. It's not mentioned. So therefore, it's not a Christian country. Okay, well, Jesus wasn't mentioned in this Supreme Court opinion to overturn Roe v. Wade. So how can you say that this was influenced by Christianity? When the reality is that you can be pro-life and not be Christian. You can be pro-life and be atheist. You can be pro-life and be agnostic. You can be pro-life in whatever religion, right? Or lack thereof, okay? So again, I don't understand where this idea comes from that the only people that are pro-life are those that are Christian fundamentalists. It doesn't make sense. Because even from a secular standpoint, you can say, well, we agree that murder is wrong, okay? I mean, that's just a basic human right to life. And that human right to life extends to life in the mother's womb, right? That's a secular argument, right? That has nothing to do with God or Jesus or religion or Christianity. That's a secular argument. And biologically speaking, I think it is very clear that embryos are life, right? Fetuses are life. I think it's very clear, okay? From a biological perspective. Now, from a philosophical perspective, I think it's unclear, okay? I think that, yes, there's a debate to be had there, okay, in regards to what do you constitute as, I guess, meaningful or, I guess, conscious life. And that's an argument that people can have all day. But biologically speaking, it is, in fact, life. Like, that's not a question, right? That's not a question. It is alive, right? So, again, with that being said, I find it fascinating how these people, they simply just want to attack Christianity. And if you hate Christians, just say you hate Christians. If you hate white people, just say you hate them. If you hate men, just say you hate men. Stop trying to hide behind this BS that you're hiding behind, trying to pretend like, these people are trying to impose their religious beliefs on us. No, you have no evidence that religion played a part in their decisions. Just say you hate Christians. Just say you hate white men. Just say it. Just say what you believe. I would respect you a lot more. I really would. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.